After the tourist season, which lasts from November till May, the wet season began. Then the rain began to fall, it got cloudy and wet. But the difference between high and low tide in the sea are also very big. There are days when the sea reveals the coastal corals that Michal likes to watch so much during snorkeling here on the beach. I can see them as normal now. I just walk and watch them myself. At the night, however, there are often violent thunderstorms with lightning that brighten the entire area. And those strange noises. I didn't know what they were. When I look into the cement hole in the morning, I see a toad making such a sound. Sometimes termites would fly in the evenings. There are swarms of them. They circle by the lamps. The toads are eating quite a bite then. But as it happens in life, someone willing to eat this very well-fed toad appeared fast. And it was only a matter of time before there was a line to get him as well. And so the years passes. Rainy and dry season take turns one after another. The guests are changing, but the heat remains the same. It's hot most of the time. It is really tiring and I don't feel like running on the beach as I used to. We still have a rotation rule with little Lucky, but then, even when he could enjoy his freedom outside, he preferred to lie in the restaurant. No wonder that he is soaking up fat and he starts to look more like a Komodo dragon than like a dog. But the main problem is his overgrown ego. He really believes he's a king here. He treats other visitors of this place as intruders, and several times he could even bite them. He ranges himself especially under table or chairs, and if someone only accidentally violates his space, he suffers a painful response. But one morning something amazing happened. Little Lucky left the island permanently. They told me that he went to the Riam family home in Trax.
Bye-bye.
What was surprising to me, however, was that since then things became somehow sad here. There was no more tension, competition and adrenaline. It just got boring and some kind of sad. I have still walked on the beach, but I couldn't feel so strong anymore. For as long as I remember, Rian prepares food and feeds the homeless dogs on the island every morning. One of her favorite dogs is the dog called Saikok. In Thai language this means sausage. He mostly hangs around grocery store nearby. As a place became vacant in our pond, it was decided that Psychok will live with us. Unfortunately, it quickly turned out that Lucy will not agree to it. And it didn't even help that they locked her in the kitchen. Michał said that she used the method of constant harassment and pressure, or speaking the language of people, mobbing. How did she know it? Maybe in the previous incarnation she was some kind of fighting feminist or manager in some corporation? As a result, Psychok could not bear the pressure. He gave up and returned to the store. And I was really sad, because I already had a made friend with him. But what could I do? The next day was the celebration of Poland's Independence Day. There were a lot of people from my home country, and their language made me feel like at home again. Unfortunately, I could not participate in this celebration because I felt worse and worse. Bad enough that doctor from a nearby clinic had to give me a drip. It wasn't looking good. So I had to face another trip to drugs. After a day in Trat and another dose of drugs, I felt a little bit better. After my return, however, a sad surprise awaited me. This time Lucy, who had never been ill, she felt really bad. This time she ended up in a cage and went to the same clinic as I. Unfortunately, it was the first and last trip to the mainland for her. When I saw this empty cage, I knew what had happened. People said that maybe she contracted a blood infection after fighting with Psychok and could not be saved. Everyone was so sad, and I was really devastated. Loi Krathong was celebrated in Thailand that day. Thais then release wreath made of banana leaves decorated with flowers, incense and candles. At the same time they offer wishes, thanks and requests. But for us, it was a very sad day, and we light a little candle on the rest for our friend's soul. Unfortunately, it was too much for an old and sick dog like me. I felt that my time was slowly running out. They buried me under a banana tree behind a shack and marked the place with a piece of old coral. You might say, what a sad story. But every story has a beginning and must end one day. And I had a nice life after all. Who knows what would have happened to me if Michał hadn't taken me to Thailand. Perhaps I would have ended up in a shelter Or I would have waited at home all day for my new master to return from work and kindly take me for a walk on a leash. And now I could see everything from a different perspective. And what the irony of fate. For example, I can see a little Lucky who had to leave Koh Mak, walking around his new home, and if nothing had happened, and he's doing great. I also saw one day a half-wild kitten came to our pond. He was distrustful at first, but quickly settled down. He had hair the same color as Lucy, and he acted similarly. He also hunted lizards and snakes, and was very independent, like her. I also saw how unexpectedly in the winter season the tropical typhoon Pabuk passed by the island.